Oh my god, I just it's more than I thought. $10,666 submit payment. Here we go. I'm so excited. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jill. Welcome to my channel. Stick around because I'm sure more money videos are gonna come after this one. Guys, I'm nervous about this. I am not gonna lie. I have a feeling there's gonna be some trolls telling me I'm stupid and all these things, but you know what? Whatever, I don't really give a fuck, honestly. I wanted to talk to you guys about money. I'm laughing because I'm like, this is the moment it's happening. I've been planning this video for like a month and a half now. At the start of the year, I was gonna do this and I kind of regret not because you could have seen my progress over time, but I did try to calculate it the best I could. We're gonna start off with some disclaimers, okay? First and foremost, debt happens. We learn and we grow from it. I am no financial advisor. I'm not a financial expert. I am a girl in my 20s just trying to figure out shit in her life and just trying to get through the days, trying to figure out life. There's literally nothing to judge. Like, I made some poor choices at one point in my life and now I'm paying the consequences for it. It is what it is. It doesn't make me stupid. It doesn't make me like not understand money. So I'm gonna first start by telling you how much debt I am in. I feel like, specifically credit card debt, that's what we're talking about today, okay? We're not talking about cars and phones and stuff like that. We're talking about credit card debt. Here, a lot depends on a credit score. So a lot of us kind of get credit card for freshly 18 and like going into the real world, it's like, okay, now we got to figure this out. If I want to get a house or an apartment or a car, I have to have good credit, and it's a lot. So I feel like I'm really tongue-tied and I'm already struggling with this video. I don't want to be looked down on for this, but I have to remind myself, like, most people I know are in debt. Like, most Americans have been in debt, are in debt, and it's just something that we're all struggling with and dealing with right now. And I want to talk about it and make it more of a normal conversation to have without there being like any fear of judgment or fear of like people looking down on you for decisions you've made. I'm going to calculate my debt right now. I have not calculated it in a while and I'm nervous about it, but it is less than it used to be. If you have kept up with like the monthly goals videos, I've spoken a bit about my financial goals and like goals I have for myself this year, paying off my debt. So I'm kind of like already on this journey already. This is not the start of it. This is like we're in it now. Like, we are on a roll with it, which is good. So I have 3 credit cards. I got my first one when I was 18. I got my second one when I was 18, and I got my third one when I was like 21, I want to say, right around there. First credit card, this is like this is the big one, okay? This is gonna be a jump scare for some of you, I feel like. Currently, I am sitting at $5,987.63 on that credit card. So that's like my big one. That's the one I have the most like credit line, and I actually used to have more. I used to have about, I don't know why I'm smiling, I think I'm just nervous. I used to have about $8,000 on that credit line. Now I only have 6 because clearly what I'm about to keep talking about can show you why it's dropped. My second one, this is like the middle size one, is $3,774.09. And my third credit card, which is the main one I'm focusing on right now, is $904.62. Should I calculate this? I'm gonna do it right in front of you so you can see my reaction. I haven't done it yet. I was waiting to film, but I've been looking at these numbers all day and I'm like, oh my god, I just it's more than I thought. Okay. 904. Okay, I want to yak. Okay, total, I'm currently sitting at, we're in the double digits. Oh, throw up. Currently, I'm sitting at $10,666.34 for credit card debt. Now, I have paid off money so far this year. It is mid-February when I'm filming this video. Now, let me tell you how much I paid off. So I have paid off $1,515 since the start of this year. So that's how much debt I am in for credit cards. Welcome to it. This is my life, and I am now focused on getting out of debt. It is a lot. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying for you to go get all credit cards and get in this debt. I'm saying the opposite. Don't do what I've done. However, it does happen. It happens to so many of us, I feel like. And I just want to kind of like share my story, talk about how I got into credit card debt and what I'm doing to get out of it right now. If you want more dedicated videos to my finances and like budgeting and paying off debt, we'll talk about it. I'm gonna like go in the reverse. So I'm gonna actually tell you how I am paying it off, and then the next thing I'll tell you is like my story behind it, because I feel like that's less people are gonna listen to that part of it, which is fine. They just want to know the numbers. So currently my plan for my payments is to start with the smallest one, pay that off, then pay the medium one off, and then the big one. So that is kind of like what I'm doing. But in the meantime, as I'm trying to pay the smaller one off, I'm paying my minimums for the other cards still, because here's the thing. When you have this much credit card debt, interest racks on. Interest racks on, and even if I put however much towards the cards, more gets put back on. So it's like constantly like you're at war with your credit cards, because you can like pay a certain amount off, but then as soon as you pay it off, more interest gets tacked on, and it's like, okay, how do you expect me to pay this off if you keep putting it back on, you know? Obviously not as much as you paid off gets put on, but it still like adds up over time. Like I've probably had hundreds on hundreds of dollars of interest racked onto my cards. I would have been so much farther ahead at this point if I didn't have cards with interest. So that is my plan and how I am currently paying them off. It's actually going really well, and I will say today, I got paid today, I will officially have, you know what? Let's do this right now. Let me pay off my small credit card, because as of this paycheck, I will hit the financial goal of paying off one of my credit cards, my small one. So that $900,462, we're paying it off right now. All right, $900,462. Continue. Today, we're doing it today, February 20, it's not 26th, it's the 16th, February 16th, 2024. Ready? Continue. All right, submit payment, here we go. I'm so excited. Guys, I'm hitting my financial goals. It's crazy to see $0 balance on. I could start fucking crying. I've had this card for so long, and I'm so happy. Oh my God, I'm gonna start crying. Okay. Guys, I just paid off a credit card. Okay, my goals this year overall were to pay off all my debt, basically. So I have 3 credit cards and student loans. I just paid off a credit card officially. That was almost $1,000. So that was like half my paycheck I just put towards a credit card. And now I will budget the rest of it today. After this video, I will be budgeting the rest of that paycheck towards my bills. But yeah, I just paid off a credit card. I can't believe it. I want to throw up. I'm so happy. So the goal is this year is to completely get out of debt. And that is what I'm really trying to do, what I'm trying to focus on. And part of that is really putting my wants aside for my needs, because I know in the near future I'm going to need to not have debt. I want to buy a house at some point, or an apartment, and I just feel like they're like chains like on me. I feel like I'm in a box because of this struggle. Like I can't do more because I like have nothing to use to do more. Like I don't have money saved that I need to have saved. I can't put money towards the savings, towards new financial goals, because I have this debt on me. So the goal is to have no debt at all. And I haven't been at that point since I was probably about 20 years old. I am now 23. So it has felt like forever since I have like felt free from finances. So I'm so excited to like finally be paying things off. But how much debt do we have left actually? Let me calculate. So this year so far I have paid off $1,319.62. So that's really big. It's taken me a long time to get to a point where I can put large amounts of money towards my finances. And I'll explain I'm gonna tell like kind of like my story with money, with jobs. I feel like that affects it, but like how I grew up, that also affects everything. So we're going to talk all about it right now. So now I have $9,761.72. So we're officially under 10 grand, which is so much money. Oh my God. But I want to talk about how I viewed money as an adult and what got me into credit card debt and this mess. So as soon as I could, I started applying for jobs when I think I was 15 when I started applying for jobs, but I actually got denied a lot of jobs because that's too young to work in Rhode Island. I'm from Rhode Island. When I was 16, I got my first job. It was in a hotel. I was like, they called it like a hospitality intern. Basically, I was like a little like busser. I did like side work, I did roll-ups, and I would like polish glassware and silverware and like stuff like that. That's how like I entered the hospitality world. I was like 16, very fresh into it, but I was working in a very upscale luxury hotel. I don't know how the fact that I like fell into this life is very funny. So then I became a host, and then before you know it, I was like a server assistant in a fine dining restaurant. I was about 18 at this point. This is when I got my first credit card. This is when she entered the scene, okay? I remember it being very low. Like the credit limit I think was like $500 or $250. It was very low, and then like slowly it started going up because I actually was really good with my credit cards when I was younger. So I would put bills on it, or like gas, groceries, whatever, and then I would pay it off. So I used it to just build credit. So I was doing very good. I had my car insurance at the time, and I was just doing very good with money. Saved up money, we started traveling. I lived off my savings. So I used my credit card because it was like an international use. Like I could use it anywhere I went. It was like a travel credit card. But then I would just like pay it off immediately. I came home, I had like about $1,000 in my bank account at the end of it. No savings, no nothing, but I wasn't in debt. Then a few years later, I ended up going through kind of a hard time. I ended up turning to spending money to cope and to feel better, and instant gratification to make myself feel better. Even though, I need to emphasize this because I feel like there's so many trolls who think like you're stupid for using your credit cards and stuff like that. I knew what I was gonna get into. I knew as soon as I started like doing that all the time, I would start to like pile on more debt. So at this point I had 2 credit cards, and then because I ended up maxing out those cards, I got a 3rd credit card. So at this point too, I didn't have a job. I was jobless for like 6 months. I remember at this time, like I knew I shouldn't be using these cards. I knew I shouldn't get another credit card, but I did because I didn't have a job. I had maxed out all my credit cards, and I had nothing. I had no money. So it was a coping mechanism, a very unhealthy one, to avoid emotions, to try to make myself happy with like whatever I wanted at the time. It was food, it was eating out all the time, it was shopping on clothes I don't even have anymore. It was like, I don't know how I got to this point. Then I got a job, but at this point I had 3 maxed out credit cards. We went to Arizona, and in Arizona I was making no money. So now let me tell you, at the time I knew I shouldn't have been spending that money, but I did anyway, okay? I understood the consequences of my actions. It's not like I didn't know what was gonna happen when I maxed out my credit cards. I knew I would have to pay it off. But then to add to that, I accepted a job that was very low paying. So trying to pay your bills and pay a credit card, very difficult when you're not making much money. You're paying your bills, and then you're trying to pay off your credit card, and then you have no money left over. So then what you're doing, you're using your credit card to pay for any other expenses that come up, anything you didn't calculate into the day-to-day. Like I would walk after 2 weeks with like $1,200. That is nothing. In this economy, that's nothing. Between rent, car payments, insurance, health stuff, because I didn't have health insurance, any medical bills, any socializing, groceries, gas, phone bill, like it's this endless list. So when you're coming home with say like $1,200, you can't live off of that, and I could not live off that. So at the time though, I had accepted this job, and like I said, we work seasonally in hospitality, so I knew another season was coming up. I could find a better job with more paying money, and that is exactly what I did in Florida. So last year I found a job with way more money, and I was getting paid good money. But then at the time we got a very expensive apartment. Apartments in Florida are pretty expensive, and even with 2 of us, we were both paying like minimum $1,000 each, and then on top of that more bills, and then on top of that I was trying to pay off credit card debt. So same thing, what happens then, it's the same thing as what I was doing before. Increase your income, decrease your expenses, and that's what I'm doing right now. However, at the time, the last 2 years, I was in this constant like back and forth of not making enough money, trying to pay off debt, racking on interest, and then repeating the cycle. Trying to pay bills, paying credit cards, racking on interest, needing the credit cards because I didn't have enough money after bills, and it was like this constant cycle. I live in very cheap housing. It's not my dream housing. I hate this apartment. I hate it. I don't want to live with people, but I'm living with people. It's all to save money, to pay off my debt, to save money, have that emergency fund, and move on from this time period in my life. So that is my debt story. So it's just this constant cycle, or it was this constant cycle, because then when I went up to Rhode Island, it was the same thing as Arizona. I accepted money that was so low compared to like my job in Florida. Long story short, I just was stupid. And even though I knew the consequences, I still did it anyway because at the time I didn't care. Now, looking back, I wish I didn't do that, of course, because now Jill at 23 is stuck with the shit Jill at 20 did. And it's like this constant battle to get through that and to move on to the next thing. So I'm no financial expert. I am not telling you what to do with your money, how to live your day to day. Everybody has different circumstances too. That's the thing. Like, some of us come from money, some of us don't come from money. Some of us make so much money from our jobs, some of us don't make any money. We're all just trying to figure it out. So yeah, that is my debt journey. The first video in the debt diaries of me trying to pay off my debt, trying to get out of this lifestyle, because at this point in time, I'm not using my credit card. I don't pay for things on my credit card. Of course, now, like, I have so many more financial goals. I want to get out of debt. I want an emergency fund. I want to save for new financial goals. I want more streams of income. Like, the goal is to have more coming in and less going out, because I feel like it's very easy to get into a space where more is coming out and less is coming in, if that makes sense. I feel like this video was a bunch of like word dumping. I don't even know if I'm gonna post this or if anything is gonna come from this, but I just really want to share this with you because I don't want my life to look like this great thing, or I talk about doing all these things without it coming with. I feel like at this point in my debt journey, I am giving up a lot of things that I want to do. I am not shopping. I am not really going on trips. I did book a trip for Tyron's birthday, but other than that, I don't travel, because really my goal is to get rid of this debt. We don't really go out to eat. I grocery shop at home now. Like, I want to talk about all the things I've done and I'm doing to get out of debt and habits I'm changing to get out of debt, but I feel like just for the start of my little money series on this channel, I really wanted to talk about like how I got here and like where I'm at with it at this point in time. So you know how much debt I'm in. If you want to see any other financial videos, let me know what you want to see. Do you want to see budgeting? Do you want to see how I budget? Do you want to see habits that I have gotten rid of and new habits I have formed for paying off debt? Like, let me know, because it's not easy and we're all just trying to figure it out over here, and that is it. Like, no judgment from me. It's not easy. So if you are in debt, do not feel alone. I am also in debt and I hope to get out of it very soon. I will this year. It is my goal and I will make it happen. And I really hope you guys like this financial video. Let me know in the comments. Really hope you guys enjoyed my financial chat, the first video in the debt diaries in my debt-free journey. Okay, we're gonna get out of this. This isn't forever, because there's no fucking way I'm living like this forever. It's only up from here. We're only gonna do better from here, okay? Yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and let's pay off our debt together, okay? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.